York City, it's cold and it's damp, and all the people dressed like monkeys. Let's leave Chicago to the Eskimos. That town's a little bit too rugged for you and me, you bad girl.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast, at sea to shining sea. Welcome back to HamRadio Live, where the world comes to talk radio. Sunday, May 28, 2023, from around the world. Welcome back to the big show.
Rolling down Imperial Highway, the big nasty red at my side. Santa Ana winds blowing hot from the north. We were born to ride. Roll down the window, put down the top, crank up the Beach Boys, baby. Don't let the music stop. We gonna ride it till we just can't ride it no more. From the side bay to the valley, from the west side to the east side, everybody very happy, 'cause the sun is shining all the time. Looks like another perfect day. I love LA. We love it. I love LA. We love it. We love it.
All the places we've been, the things we've seen. We'll share a little bit of that with you. Plus, this is the biggest show we've ever done. I hope you're ready. Get a pot of coffee. Don't just get a cup. It's going to be a while, wherever you may be. Get settled in and get ready.
Look at that mountain.
Yep.
Look at those trees. Look at that bum over there, man. He's down on his
We
knees.
saw some of them.
Look at these women.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nothing like them nowhere.
Randy Newman, courtesy of Warner Brothers Records with I Love L.A.
Century Boulevard. We love it. Victory Boulevard. We love it. Santa Monica Boulevard. We love it. 6th Street. We love it. We love it. We love LA.
From around the world, what do you say we spin this top, see how long it spins, and what do you say we start the show with it, away we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I just asked my wife, I said, babe, it's almost 2 o'clock Pacific, right? And I said, I think it's a little too late. Again, she said, Larry, doggone, you got to do the doggone show and be done. Just get it done. This has taken a long time to get in the system, and I hope you enjoy it. Probably the longest show I've ever done. Just a little bit of news here. Don't leave at the end of the sign-off. You might just be, happy you stayed. We'll see. It's good to see you guys. It's been a long time, too long, over 2 weeks to get back here. I want to thank you for coming around the world. I've really missed you guys. And I think one of the hardest things, I want to start the show by saying this. I thought, how can I word this in a good way? And there's no good way. I've always been a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. If I can't, there's a reason. And it's been so hard to get back and do this show. And I've missed you guys, and I'm grateful for your patience. Thank you for sticking with me. Let's figure out who's first, second, and third into the show today. First one, all the way from the UK. My goodness gracious, Steve. Mike 1 Sierra Delta Hotel. Let's give him a big old beep, beep, please.
Meep, meep.
Hi, Steve. Welcome, buddy. Good to have you. Welcome back. It's nice to have you, Steve. Thanks for coming and joining the show. Second up, look at the Europeans are here. The Europeans are here. The Europeans are here. Yes, Andy Bronson. Mike 7, X-Ray Tango Tango. Hi, Andy. Good evening to you there in the UK. I'm sorry it's so late. Third, also Europe. Holland to be specific. Rodney, Pop Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey. Big applause. Rodney, it's good to see you. Now, finally, North America's here. Hi, William. Kilo Off 8 Golf India. Mike, the state of Wisconsin. Great to have you. Welcome to the show. Wow. So many people. This is great. Thank you guys for coming from around the world. Roger McKeon and our dear friend Molly. Kilo Juliet 7, Lima X-Ray. Molly makes K9. Welcome, guys. Good to have you as well. Cliff Bolts, the Commonwealth of Virginia. Whiskey Delta 4, Oscar Bravo Papa. Hello. And thanks for the kind words about the like and subscribe. Rodney, I appreciate that. Thanks, buddy. Evan Barczyk is back. Hi, Evan. Welcome back. See, Evan's a guy who's really patient with me because I like mispronounced his name a million times, and He still came back, and we're grateful for that. Thank you, my friend. Ron Molinsky from the state of Washington, just north of me here. November 8, Whiskey Charlie Romeo. Hi, Ron. Good afternoon to you there in Washington State. My brother Bob, courtesy WIFI. Welcome to the show. And let's just spin the doggone show up. Yesterday I was going to do the show, and here's what yesterday was like here in the studio. Okay? There we go. That is Jack asleep with Larry as he's trying to get all the elements for the show. And no kidding. Yeah, it's Jack asleep. And it's like, how do you move him, right? He's just right there. Excellent. If you'd like to get in amateur radio, this will be fast. Just contact the American Radio Relay League. There's lots of great places. Radio Society of Great Britain's good. Wireless Institute of Australia is excellent. Radio Amateurs of Canada are great. The Deutschland Amateur Radio Club, people in Germany. There's so many places around the world to contact. Just try this one, okay? The American Radio Relay League, www.arrl.org. Hit the contact us bar. Let them know you want your license, where you live. They'll send you an email back with local to you amateur radio club. That'll help you get licensed. That's how I did it, www.arrl.org. Have a show suggestion, reach out to me, or a question, info@hamradiolive.org. Today's topic question: if money were no object, what radio equipment would you have? What I love about this is it can be shortwave, it could be citizens band, it could be amateur radio related. Let us know, and we'll make it part of today's conversation, all right? And today around the house has been crazy. Let me just kind of give you a little update about everything that's been going on here in the world of Larry, okay? Jack and Jill are both doing very well. Jill is kind of picking on Jack a little more than we want, so we're trying to take care of that. But then if you leave them alone too long, then this is exactly what happens right here.
I'm a unitard!
Yeah. You cannot leave them alone because they'll destroy everything. So that is life in Larry's house right now. Let's take a quick look. Contest calendar, by the way. This is big. If you've been on the lower bands of any frequency, say, for example, you're low on 40 or you're low on 20, maybe you're down low on 15, you see a lot of Morse code. Look at this. This is from the Northwest here. Let me get you a quick little look. Look at the Morse code there. That's all just buzzing away right now for the worldwide WPX contest for Morse code. So that's ending today. That should be a lot of fun. And let me just kind of share. We just, as you know, we took my brother to Disneyland. We asked him a year ago, more than that, it's been a year and a half, almost 2. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And my brother Bob, bless his heart, he's right here. He said, I want to go to Disneyland. And Karen and I were like, oh, please, 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 Hawaii. Say Hawaii. Say Hawaii. So he picked Disneyland. And so we did a 5-day excursion. I'll share with you just a little bit. We won't make it too long, but you'll love it, okay? We got there before they closed Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain closes, by the way, permanently May 31st. That's the last day that attraction will be open. And Karen had never been on Splash Mountain, so it was a lot of fun. We left Portland, and it was like, reasonable time, 9-something in the morning. There's Bob Beyer airplane. He was going to be flying it that day.
Well, hog gravy and chitlins.
Yeah, he was going to be flying the plane. No, not true. But he was excited to go. So we had a good time down there. And of course, when you go to Disneyland, you have to get your obligatory pictures everywhere, right? You have to get the one that's over by the mouse in front, which was fun. Here's our little picture there. And let me just share with you, Karen's first trip on her first ride on Splash Mountain. It was the only way we were able to take, only time we were able to get on that ride, because there was so many people. It was cram-packed in that place. They were doing grad night every night we were there, and it's going on right now. So if you're planning to go to Disneyland, plan on a lot of people. It was crazy to get through that park and try and get to one area or another if you weren't in that land. Easier to probably take the train because there was way too many people. But here is just a 4-minute clip. You'll love it. And excuse the language, Karen was getting soaked, and I warned her about it, but she got in the front of the lock, the very front. Here is the most fun part of that attraction. I hope you enjoy it. We're dry right now. We're dry until this happened. I thought she'd be mad. No, she's happy. So there's just a few minutes of Splash Mountain, the ride that's closing May 31st, and it's, of course, after the Uncle Remus book, Song of the South. And I'm just showing you the part where we get absolutely drenched on this ride. First ride, and we got so wet, it was incredible. We were still wet 7 hours later back at the hotel. But let me get you a little more of this and give you the big drop. It's a 5-story drop, and this was probably one of the most fun things we did the whole time. Right now, they have people in Florida, when they closed this ride, right? They were scooping water out into plastic sandwich bags to sell on eBay. This is Splash Mountain water, no kidding. But here is a little bit of Splash Mountain with us on it. First ride we went on, Karen's big splash ride, and man, did we get wet. Here we go. Karen thought there's only one drop. She didn't realize there's 3. Now I'm going to speed it up here for you. I'm going to zoom it forward just so you can get to the part where we get totally soaked, right? So you got to go way up this thing, right? You're going way up this little thing. That gets you 5 stories up, okay? And as you're going up, you're getting closer, and you see Brer Rabbit with the wolf. He's trying to warn him, don't go down to the laughing place, which in the ride happens to be at the bottom of this lift hill. So let's get to the lift hill, and you get to see the whole doggone thing from our perspective in the front of the log. Here we go. That was it. Karen's hat fell off. She is soaked. Share a little bit of Splash Mountain with you. There you go. That was fun to do. And Karen, she had a great time. I thought she'd be really mad. And she was. She's like, oh my gosh, this is fun. Oh, what a great time that was. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Ian Justice, by the way, on 30-meter FG8 here in the UK. If you want to work him, look for Mike Zero Romeo, November Hotel. 30 meters, pretty easy band to make good contacts on. And find Ian there from the UK, which is kind of cool. It's good. It's going to be a fun show. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. A lot going on this show for sure. Rob Q, Los Angeles. Hi, Rob. Good to see you. It was fun to be down in Southern California. Not hot. We thought it would be really warm, right? The 70s. Not bad. Very, very comfortable. Let's get into where we left off last show. And I've got 2 little segments that we're going to kind of dovetail into, and I hope you enjoy it. We talked last time a little bit about the Biden administration putting more focus on getting pirate radio stations off the air.
Dear Mr. President,
of course.
There are too many states nowadays. Please eliminate 3. I am not a crackpot.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So, they're looking to do this. And the Eastern Oregon Pirate is one of them. They named this giant suit. It was huge. 5 decades of rock and roll. Problem is, the guy's taken his transmitters twice, and he puts them back on the air and changes frequency. So, look at this. $80,000 fine.
How much money did you say it was? $80,000.
Yeah, $80,000. And here is where he talks about Thomas Barnes for pirate radio broadcasting on 100.5 megahertz of Grand, Oregon, right? And it goes into it. It came in March 14th of this year. So supposedly he has taken it off the air now. Now, certainly with an $80,000 fine, I think I would do the same thing, but I would not have gotten in trouble. Let's take a quick look at the guy, because it's interesting to know his background. On LinkedIn, look at this, co-owner of Pirate Radio Eastern Oregon. He was a radio air talent there, it looks like. Here's his experience. And you see board operator in LeGrand, Oregon for a couple of years. And there he is, right? That's the pirate radio guy. So this is the Eastern Oregon Pirate live on, and doesn't say more. There he is. There's our hero, Robert. Sorry, the name again is Thomas Barnes. There's Thomas Barnes in action with his surrender your booty hat on. Jeez. $80,000, guy. That was a lot of money. So yeah, that's it. Another guy in New York State, right out of New York City, in one of the boroughs in New York City, a $2 million fine. No joke. So they're not kidding about that stuff. They do not want you putting on pirate radio stations. By the way, I made a comment last show. You got to be careful because you don't want to be playing music because of the ASCAP licensing fees to the artists who make the music, right? The other end of it is you can't go selling airtime on a radio station that's not legally on the air. This guy in New York State did that. That's why it's a $2 million fine. Not too smart there. We're on WRMI shortwave twice each week. One, CQ calling, powered by Icom, for the love of ham radio. It's heard worldwide, all over the world here on these times and frequencies. Please pick a time and frequency and reach out to me, and I'll get you an EQSL card for receiving the show. Also, we have OTH Radio. The all request show for May was just played yesterday. These are the times and frequencies worldwide, but there's one more frequency, and I found this to be here. We found a little bit of our sleuth investigating team found out this. This is the unicorn frequency. This is the one that is very difficult to get, 5850. Notice the time, okay? 8:40 to 9 UTC. Okay, then look at this, 9:30. Okay, so if you're listening sometime between, say, 8:30 and 9:30 on 5850, you're able to get it, you could get this certified unicorn EQSL card, courtesy WRMI and Icom and the show. Yeah. Okay, special event calendar coming up. We've got Niger still open till the 15th of June, and this is neat. 40 to 10, mainly on FT8, some sideband, but mostly digital. You can work this 5 Union Alpha, 99 Whiskey Sierra. Again, 5 Uniform Alpha, 99 Whiskey Sierra. Marshall Island, not easy to get. Goes through June 30th. That's going to be 160 to 10. It's big spread. Morse code, radio teletype. They're going to do RTTY, which is kind of cool. Also, FT8, 100 watts with dipoles and verticals. And from there, they'll work well because it's they're right at the ocean, first bounce, right? Aruba, Papa 44 X-ray. By the way, Marshall Islands, look for the call sign prefix Victor 7. Victor 7. So, excuse me, the call sign to look for Marshall Islands, which is a great one to get. Victor 7 slant, November 7 X-ray Romeo, okay, out of Kwajalein Atoll. Great one to get. Aruba, Papa 44 X-ray, also going to be working on FT8, Morse code, and sideband. Look for them, call sign, Papa 44 X-ray. That is the call sign. Market Reef, Oscar Juliet 0. And the call sign in its totality, by the way, notice 80 to 6 meters, big spread there. Sideband, Morse code FT4 and FT8. Look for call sign Oscar Juliet 0 slant Lima Bravo 5 Sierra Hotel. There you go. Maldives, 8 Quebec 7 Victor Juliet. Also sideband and some FM work. 10 meters, 5 or 10 watts on that. Faroe Islands, that one is Oscar Yankee slant, India Whiskey 1 Papa Romeo Tango. That's going to be FM sideband and FT8. Spare time operation, right? Turks and Caicos goes on through May 30th. St. Kitts and Nevis, by the way, May 30th is coming up on Tuesday. So if you want to work Turks and Caicos, Victor Papa 5, the full call, Victor Papa 5 slant, Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha India, all right? St. Kitts and Nevis runs through the 7th. Call sign Victor 47 Juliet Alpha, and Rwanda through June 14th. Both of these are going to be doing some digital, so you can work them on FT8. Look for the call sign on Rwanda, 9X-ray 2 Alpha Whiskey. And this goes on to tell you a little bit more about what's coming up. American Samoa is on through the 31st. That's a tough one, my friends. Kilo Hotel 6 Whiskey. A Hawaiian Ham's doing that one. And look at that. They're working, of course, the CW contest this weekend, and they're focusing more outside of the contest. They're trying to work a little bit more outside. Cape Verde Islands, good one off the coast of Africa. Delta Juliet 5, Quebec Sierra, and that's the call sign to look for. Central Kiribati starts June 1st through the 12th. Also FT8 sideband and Morse code, 160 to 10 meter by the Rebel DX group. So that's kind of a look at your DXPedition calendar for the coming, I'd say, 2 weeks or so. Today's topic question: if money were no object, meaning you didn't have to worry about what you spent, right? What radio gear would you have? Let us know. Make part of the show. Good answer here from Duke, number 1705. By the way, welcome back to the show. If I was licensed and was financially literate, that's actually an interesting combination of words. If I was licensed and financially literate, then I would have a medium-sized tower, Dix Commander antenna, and the newest possible radio equipment nationally manufactured from Canada. Nice work. Thank you. That's pretty cool, actually. That really is. And thank you for your kind words. It's very nice of you to say. Look at this. I changed my profile name a while back for information, Larry, from Theater MF Cleese fan for length reasons. Thank you for doing that. 1705. He's now the Duke of Rodtown. Big applause. I could say it. Amazing. Hi, Andy. Mike 7, Charlie in November joins us all the way from the UK. It's nice to have you, my friend. Rodney in Holland. A bigger beam, half-inch heliax at a larger tower. I have everything else. Well done, Rodney. There you go. No kidding. Yeah, it was. Rodney mentions about Splash Mountain. Mentioned the squish in your shoes. It was Bob. It was Karen, myself, Bob. So if you're looking at the log sideways, Karen front, then Larry, then Bob. And we got more than Karen because the water kept coming over the sides of the stupid log. We were absolutely drenched, but it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this a little tiny bit of our trip. It was a lot of fun to do the show. So if money were no object, what would you have and why? Aaron Lutz, welcome. Candace here. Victor Echo 5 Echo Mike Lima from Hendon, Saskatchewan. Hi, Aaron. It's good to see you guys. Really, I'm like, been spent for a long, long time. I appreciate it. We also, last show, in the show before that, and I think the show before that, talked about AM radio. The Biden administration putting more focus on enforcements of pirates, right? We talked about that, but also AM. That's a big deal. There has been some big news regarding this since we did the last show. I don't know if you've seen this, but take a look. Congress keeps pressure on automakers with AM radio-focused hearing next month. Big applause. Absolutely. This is huge. Your letters, your emails have made a big difference. No kidding. It's been amazing. And look at this. Now Ford is on board to save AM as well. Remember, Ford was going to stop putting AM radios in their cars as of next year. However, now Ford says, nope, we're going to save AM. We're going to keep it in every vehicle we sell. There's a lot of pressure on them, put it that way. Look at this. It talks about this from a week ago. On Tuesday of this last week, Senator Ed Markey, a Democrat, praised Ford Motor Company for deciding to keep AM radio in its vehicles. He's a member of the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee. Like I knew there was a thing like that. Who knew, right? Anyway, also, on the other side of the aisle, Republican Ted Cruz from Texas is a co-sponsor of the bill, along with several other Democrats and Republicans. This is like one of the only things that they can agree on is to save AM in vehicles. Investors and car buyers could be forgiven if they didn't realize there was pending litigation about AM car radios. And with the advent of smartphones, podcasts, and ubiquitous 5G connectivity, they can also be forgiven if they didn't know an AM radio tuner isn't in their current ride, like in Teslas. Teslas haven't had them for a long time. That's true. Look, the government sees fit to save it. The government also plays a role indirectly in the shift to electric vehicles running on batteries by setting ever-tightening emission standards to make gasoline-powered vehicles more expensive to manufacture. Okay, I get that, right? No worries. But look at this. This is really big news. They talk about there is a cost for AM, not just an incremental cost. Lawmakers are talking about AM radio in the context of new cars. They're not out to change radio tuners already in use. Same as gas stove debates applies to only new construction, not existing residential use. But Ford is really good on trying to keep this going. Now, they made the decision to keep AM radio in their dashboards, and they're now getting behind Congress to really make a difference. This is one of the only things our government can agree on. One of the only things. Mazda dropped them all. They're just not, they can't do it. They're not going to do it. It has to do with RFI from electric vehicles. Makes total sense. I get it. But take a look at the numbers here, right? Like they talk about Tesla hasn't offered AM radio for years. Perhaps that's going to change. There's a lot of activity going on in Washington, D.C. about keeping AM radio alive in vehicles. Now, take a look at this. This is really good. You see Chair Bob Latta from Ohio among those who believe that AM is essential, especially for those who live in rural communities where mobile connectivity can be less reliable. Whether listeners tune in or listen to updates during times of emergencies, the home team's game, agricultural information, or for other reasons, it is concerning vehicle companies are taking steps to remove these stations from their electric cars. That is a big deal right now in Washington. And here, look at the numbers here. This is phenomenal. They had no idea it'd be this big. Look at this. What may be helping to spur lawmakers into action is the on-air campaign that's been running on radio, urging listeners to show their support for AM. To date, more than 187,000 emails and 13,000 tweets have been sent to lawmakers. Now, this is just sent to lawmakers, urging them to keep AM radio in cars. One lobbyist says that it is an incredible level of response that has not gone unnoticed by Washington policy makers. This is a big deal, guys. If you can reach out to your representatives, right? I showed you on the National Association of Broadcasters website last show, but if you don't have it, your first time here, maybe you'd like to help save AM in vehicles. Maybe you didn't know they were taking it out. They thought about it. That Ford was ready to do it. Ford said nothing. Nope. 2024 and on, we're not going to include AM radio. And FM's going to be right on the heels of it because that way they can sell subscriptions to make the radio work in the car that you bought that you didn't know doesn't have radio anymore. Subscription makes money for the company. Save AM now because it's going to make a big difference down the road. And if there's an emergency, bad weather, an earthquake, a fire, some sort of natural disaster, or something worse, you're going to find out the news on AM here in the States. Reach out on the National Association of Broadcasters website to NAB AM radio, and that's it. Click that, you'll go right to the link and tell them your zip code and let them, basically they've got the whole body of the thing filled out. You hit send and it goes right to your representatives and everything is done. 187,000 emails just to representatives, and they have noticed. It is a big, big deal. Ron, and that's when we talk radio here. It's not just ham radio. Yes, the name of the show is Ham Radio Live, but we celebrate radio. We've done it for years here. So Ron says if they're equipping radios from outside manufacturers, it's a sure bet that AM is already built into the radio. Just the car manufacturers disable it in software. There it is, but the hardware's still there. Exactly, and that's what Ford said. We already have AM in the 2023, so it's already there. We just can now make it work in the 2024s. Isn't that amazing? But the problem is with electric vehicles, how they get rid of the RFI. If you live near any charging stations, for example, you know the RFI that they put out because they're putting a lot of amperage back into a vehicle. It is a nightmare. So hopefully these car makers are going to hire maybe some retired hams that, have worked in the broadcast industry who could teach them how to get rid of the radio frequency interference on their vehicles so AM will work in everything. How it should be. Simple. A lot of guys could do very well. Greg, who used to watch the channel here from Massachusetts, good person to hire, be a great person to hire. He could figure it out. Make it work really well for them. Yeah. William Myers received a letter from my congressman thanking me. Oh, this is great. For my email to him regarding the saving of AM radio. Big applause. It works, and it's working. So keep the pressure on Congress. Keep sending those emails. Keep on the gas pedal because we can't lose AM. I got to tell you, true story. When we went to Chicago last month, right, we had a Tesla, no AM. Could not listen to any ball games, couldn't listen to any news. We had no outside communication except for FM. And what's mostly on FM? Music stations.
That's my boy!
Yeah, see, just music stations, which is great. I mean, I like music, but I can put my phone on and play music. I don't need to hear all the time terrestrial radio, but I do need to know the news. And that's a big, big deal. Thank you, William. I appreciate it. It's really good to hear that. That's really, really good. I'm grateful to see everybody working together in Congress to do this because it's going to save the medium. We cannot lose AM. We can't. There's too many stations that are too widely listened to in all these major markets of the country and the small ones. You go to a small town, they've got AM radios. They don't have many FM transmitters, but they got AM, and that's local news. Can't get rid of it. All right, let's talk about something else. We had 1705 came in last time, talked about tornadoes, right? Saying about the big tornadoes in Nebraska. Oh, it was terrible. Let me show you real quick. This is what it looked like that day in Nebraska. I'll add the link to this YouTube channel to show you just how bad those tornadoes were. These guys are chasing that thing. These guys are chasing that tornado. Now, I don't want to go too far in that. I want to show you this. I never had seen this, and to me it was incredible. Want to see the inside of what a tornado's like? Check out this video. you're about to see will never leave your mind. It will blow your mind what this is about. These guys were chasing the tornado, and they got right close to it. Way too close. Check this out.
Go for!
Listen to the wind noise in the car.
Ears are popping.
You hear the car being pelted with things that are flying around the tornado. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because it's like a minute and a half longer than this. And look, as they're getting out of this is the end of that segment. Look as that tornado passes. Look at this. And you see the wind and the windshield. Got a crack in the windshield now. Oh.
Woo! That was insane. Oh, kill the air! Kill the air!
Can you imagine what that must have been like in that close to a tornado? I can't imagine. So again, 1705, thank you for the news you sent regarding all of that. All right, so we've cleared up AM. We've talked about the pirate radio guy. We got one more thing to talk about. OTH Radio, I talk about how great WRMI Signal is carrying right now around the world. And it's a lot of fun to host this show. It's music back on shortwave, music from the 60s all the way to today's artists is on this show. And I'm really grateful that WRMI sends it out. But I wanted you to hear just how much you can hear 93.95 kilohertz at 10 p.m. Eastern. So that's right now at 2200 UTC. Take a listen to this. This is out of Maui, Hawaii on that 93.95 kilohertz signal.
Stress-free in-flight operation. Choose Icom. Add the fourth.
So there's Maui.
Find out more at IcomAmerica.com.
Let's go to Yarm, England, okay?
Air, land, and sea.
One radio station.
Check it out.
Same signal.
To the greatest hits on Earth on Over the Horizon Radio.
Okay.
Once upon a weekend, this song was #1 40 years ago today.
Okay, so there we got Yarm, England, because we've hit Hawaii. Same signal all the way to England. Let's go now to a place called Brasilia, Brazil. I couldn't believe it could be heard because it's not beamed towards South America. Here's that actual same signal down in Brazil. And that shows you from South Florida to Brazil, not even sent that way, but 93.95 carries it. If you're in South America, you can hear the show.
Here we go. High Elton John and Over the Horizon Radio,
Isn't that
1970.
amazing? That is 93.95 from WRMI. You can hear it all the way from Hawaii into Europe. And by the way, Europe all the way into Greece. So amazing signal. If you're interested in that EQSL card for North America, it's a gimme for you. If you're in South America, if you're in the Pacific, if you're, and as far as New Zealand, you can hear it in New Zealand. But amazing what's going on. And that's a lot to do with our conditions right now on radio. It really is. I don't know if you've seen this lately. You've experienced it if you've been on the radio. There's no question about that. I want to share with you real quick before we go too far, and I got to find this because I thought I had it in the system. There's over 200 segments on this show, so bear with me, guys. I'm going to just kind of zoom over here real quick. We're going to get you to me here. Nope, me here. Okay, and this is going to be a little thing of me down low. But I'm going to make the screen go blank because it's important. I want to show you some information. This is current. I got to find the little tiny little screenshot of this. So bear with me. It's worth waiting for, and it's going to tell you. There we go. Exactly what's going on with our bands. Look at this. The 20-meter band, like last summer, is going south again. We have tons of sunlight in the northern hemisphere. We're just about to reach the summer solstice, right? But look at where 10 meters is. 10 meters is right about at 38 degrees north. So that means if you're like in Northern California south, you're going to get 10. But 12 meters if you're right about where I am on the 45th parallel. If you're north, say for example, if you're in the southern part of Canada, let's move over 15 meters, right? 15 meters is getting right to about mid-Canada. That's your MUF right now, 15. If you let's say you want to work Alaska, that's about 17 meters right now. Look at how far down. The yellow is where 10 is, okay? That's how far south it is now. It's way south in the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, it is way south as well. So the way it works right now is if you want to work on the 10-meter band, you either have a directional to carry you that way, or you have to wait and use your maximum usable frequency. So currently, right around Northern California, 40 degrees south is going to be 10 meters and south, right? Not going to be a very big opening. Going to last maybe an hour or two, but not long. If you go north up to about the U.S. border, about 12 meters. The U.S. border to about mid-Canada, there's 15, and then from mid-Canada to the northern part of Canada, you're going to be on the 17-meter band. That's how it's been lately. No kidding. So if you're wondering what is happening to the bands, a lot of it has to do with maximum usable frequencies. Here in the northern hemisphere, they have pushed way south and made it hard for us to make calls. In the spring, we're making calls like crazy, right? You could call everywhere on 10 meters, but now it's kind of slipped away. So today's topic question is a fun one. If money were no object, you got to spend any amount. Say you're in a ham radio store or a radio store back in the day, right? Buy any shortwave receiver you want, buy any amateur radio you want, any antenna, anything you want. What would it be? Why would you do it and why? Be interesting to see your answer to that. Roger McKeon in Spokane, thanks for joining the conversation. He's a Kenwood 990S. That's a beautiful radio, man. Or an Elecraft K4 or Flex 6600. And you know what's good about that Flex? Tom in Bahrain's going to do this. He wants to buy a Flex because he wants the Maestro. He's so busy in the Middle East, and it's hard. When it's like 40 degrees Celsius outside in the summer, you don't feel like setting up a mobile station out there on the Persian Gulf. It's just too hot. So Tom is looking to get a Flex and a Maestro, which to me is brilliant. That's such a great combo. Really is. So when you mentioned this, Roger, about the Flex 6600 and the Maestro to that, you can work the radio anywhere. You can do it with the Icom software too, with their Icom software to work remotely. I know that Elecraft has a mini K4 coming out, not done yet, but they're working on it. On the Kenwood side, I believe there's some software, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But he says money is really no object. I'll just take all three. Well done. Thank you, sir. Nice. Like I said last week, it's funny. You guys had mentioned about, what was it? It was about the James Bond thing. It was kind of fun. Rodney says, yeah, he knows about that RFI, and that's from charging stations. It is bad. It's really bad. And by the way, if you're so inclined, if you're on Twitter, for example, use the hashtag DependOnAM. That's what the NAB's asking here in the States. Just use hashtag DependOnAM. Every one of those makes a big difference. William in Holy Toledo, Ohio is here. Hi, William. New call saying Whiskey Charlie 8 Kilo. I love his new call. He says, on today's topic question, Elecraft K4D, so that has diversity receive, with a KPA 1500 amp seamless operation, an Icom 9700, that gives him VHF, UHF, plus 2 100-foot towers. My goodness, that's fantastic. Well done. Thank you, William. It's great to see you. William, I'm so happy to see you today. I'm happy to see all you guys. It's a miracle. It's been like forever since I've been able to be here, so thank you for that. This is a talk show. It really is, and it's nice to spend time with all of you and just hang out. It's been a lot of fun. Dave's here. Hi, Dave. Good to see you. Look at this. Golf Zero, Foxtrot, Victor Tango. He said, I must be a bad person, although I've worked for broadcasters. I never listen to AM radio in the car. You're not a bad person. Not at all. This is a North America thing. To be fair, in Japan, AM's gone. In Europe, AM's digital. So it makes no sense to people outside of North America. But here in think of your stations, right? Okay, so like Dave in Great Britain, same thing for people that are in Europe or in Japan. Think of FM. Think of losing FM, what it would mean to you guys to lose FM. Here in the States, yes, there's political arguments. Throw the dang politics out. We can't lose that because, guys, if there's a problem, if there's anything that goes wrong, people turn the radio on. That's what they do. And not having that viable medium that we use a lot here in the States. By the way, if you're driving on a road trip, for example, the National Highway Administration broadcasts road closures and road conditions. There's like a snowstorm or a tornado, a hurricane, earthquake, whatever. But the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration here in the States uses AM. They either transmit on 5:30 AM or they transmit on 1710 or 1700. And they will transmit what the road conditions are ahead. And if you don't have an AM radio in the car to hear it, how do you know? The road could be closed 2 miles ahead and you don't know because you don't have an AM radio. So it is a big, big deal and totally understand out of Europe. You're not going to get the impact. But if you took away your terrestrial radio in your car that you listen to, that's what it would mean to us to lose AM. That's a pretty good way. I hope I say that right way. Steve in the UK, wow, remind me to never chase tornadoes. Crazy.
By the way, is there anyone on board who knows how to fly a plane?
Yeah.
By the way, is there anyone on board who knows
like fly the plane. Rob is here. Hi, Rob. Kilo 2, Whiskey Romeo Delta, all the way, my friend. Good to see ya. Rob gets a hold of me on email, which is great. This is really good. I appreciate hearing from you, Rob. Duke of Rodtown, 1705. Oh my gosh, those storms are ridiculously insane. I still remember going back and forth from the stream and assisting with another one. Absolutely wild day. And he's the one to talk to us about tornadoes that are coming. Yeah, the tornadoes are a real eye-opener. And Andy New says it's a bit eye-opening to say, a bit breezy to say the least. I'd have been freaking out in that car. I would have been just freaking out. That was an amazing thing. Jerry, welcome. Kilo 4, Papa Zulu, always pleasure. Give Jerry some big applause. Hi, Jer. Good to see you. Happy Sunday afternoon to you. And Steve, I agree. Lucky to be alive. One bit of debris would have been game over. He's right. Because if you've ever watched a tornado video, right, you see the giant debris field, like, giant 2x4s or large, pieces of wood that are just flying like sticks. And those will go right through car windows and kill you like that. You'll never even know you're dead. So it was amazing that happened. Sam Weaver joins us all the way from the state of Alabama. Hi, Sam. I had a tornado come close to my house a month ago. First time it's happened. I bet you didn't forget it. Never would forget it. No kidding. Jerry Jones used to chase tornadoes in the late 80s, but never got that close. That is really scary to be that close. I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to show the people on YouTube. They'll love this. Rob says a Kenwood TS990 radio for sure on his end. That's a good one, Rob. Thank you. Yeah, I love the 990. It's a great radio. Such a beautiful radio. It's neat to watch Callum McCormick use his. He's very good with it. Really is. It's like it's an extension of himself. It's cool. Aaron in Canada, tornadoes are nothing to play with and demand 100% of your respect. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Not sure how that happened, but we'll just say that was really, really weird. Sorry. All of a sudden, like the audio was gone. Hard to host a show with no audio. I think we got everybody's comment here. I don't think we're missing anything. I hope so. And Duke, yeah, happy Memorial Day weekend to you as well. It's a tough one for me. This is the rare year that when my mom died. She died on Memorial Day of 95. It was May 29th, and it's May 29th again this year for Memorial Day. It's tough. But thank you. Thank you for the Memorial Day wish. Appreciate it. Yeah. My uncle's really kind of cool. He goes to everybody's grave on the Saturday before Memorial Day, and he drops flowers everywhere. And yeah, it's time in the States where we just remember those who are gone before us. So grateful to be here. Sam Weaver in Alabama on today's topic question. I want all the radios.
That's my boy!
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh, man. Thank you, Rodney, for staying on top of all the good stuff. I appreciate that so much. By the way, Propagating Radio's here. Hello from Missouri. Just finished working the CQ Worldwide Morse Code Contest. Going to hear CW in my sleep tonight. Big applause. That's amazing. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for joining us today, and a happy Sunday to you and yours for sure. We're going to play something real quick. I'm excited to play this because Rodney in Holland has a wonderful YouTube channel. The simplest way to do it is you just have to take a look at his call sign, Pop Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey. Here he is right here. He has amazing footage on his YouTube channel, and he got a call that I tried so hard to get digitally, I couldn't get it. But Rodney, being the extra achiever he got it on voice. Take a look at this.
Papa Alpha 9 Radio Whiskey. Papa Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey.
Papa Alpha again, please.
Papa Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey.
Papa Alpha 9 Radio Whiskey 59.
5973, good luck.
Okay, look what he did. This is amazing. From Holland, Oscar X-Ray 5 Delta Mike. That's Dave, goes by Scat, right? Now, the name of where he's at, okay, is tough. Like it's Kangerlussuaq. I believe it's Kangerlussuaq, Greenland. No joke. Here's what it looks like. Most likely in the summer. It's not too much ice that's built up on the shore, but that's where this guy's at. And this is where he's at in Greenland. So Rodney worked all the way from the northern part of Europe to the southwest coast of Greenland. That's amazing work. Big applause. Rodney, fantastic work. I really tried to call the same dude, but you got him on voice. Great stuff. Rodney's doing some good stuff in amateur radio, which is kind of cool. Today's topic question: if money were no object, meaning you just spend what you want to spend, what would you do with your radio room? Now, if it was shortwave, if I was doing a shortwave, shack, I'd be really interested in the latest Sony products because I really like Sony quality. It's really good. Been good for a long time, and I love Sony stuff. So I'd be interested there. Maybe a Texan radio, just for a portable. But I'd also want to maybe go back a little bit, get like a transoceanic, one of the Zenith transoceanics, probably late 50s, early 60s. That's where I like the stuff. If it was an amateur Radio Shack, I'm pretty happy with what I have. I mean, the only thing I'd add probably would be a Flex 6300 or possibly a 6000. That they're out of production, but you get the Maestro. And that's what I used it with. It was great. So yeah, money no object. What would you have in your radio room? Let us know, and we will do our best to make it part of the show. By the way, welcome Bass all the way from Holland as well on the German border, right? Welcome back. Love Brass. Love my friend Bass. Ron Walensky, I scared some old lady last night. I was in a graveyard. She said hi to me, and I said, wow, you can see me?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Lend me a kiss, my
Oh, that's too funny. That's absolutely too funny. And Steve in the UK was trying to chase that call. 3 weeks ago, they were like a 32 and the pileup soon appeared, so he didn't have a chance. That's the way it works. All right, folks, we're going to say thank you to somebody who watches the channel. I want to go all the way to Southern California. So we already started all this in California. We played Randy Newman to start the show. Played a little Disneyland. So let's thank somebody down there. Jose Pantaleon, call sign, Kilo 6, Hotel Zulu Romeo, watches Ham Radio Live, and I am so grateful that he does. Let's take a look what he's done. 50 states, the continents, the counties, the grid squares, and more. Of course, this is a little bit David Lee Roth and Van Halen. They are from Southern California, so let's take a look at Jose's world. And for people that might be interested in APRS, I have a good segment on that. Just wait, maybe the end of the show isn't the end. Might not be the end. Let's take a look at Jose's world. He lives in Laverne, California. It's an eastern suburb of the Los Angeles area. So let's see Jose's fantastic world here. It's part of Route 66 here in the States, too, which is a big deal. There's a little bit of Route 66 there in Laverne. Okay, I'm about ready just to have a cow here. Okay, that should be fixed now. Who knew? Laverne is a beautiful place. It's just to the east of LA. Lots of citrus in the area. Just a beautiful place in California. Love this area. The Inland Empire of Southern California is beautiful. Jose Pantaleon, good, thank you, man. Kilo 6, Hotel Zulu Romeo for listening to Ham Radio Live and taking us along in your life. Thank you, man. Yeah, everybody's done. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff from Southern California. We have a lot to do on this show, and I hope you enjoy it. There's so much fun that's included as well. And we didn't forget your funnies. We didn't forget those because we can't do that. Today's topic question: if money were no object, you were able to buy whatever you wanted for radio gear, what would you buy? You can talk why. We can figure it out. Mark Wiggins said, sounding great to the Ohio Pro Set 6s today. Mike 0, November, Oscar, Mike. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, those are good. I've got Pro 7s. I really like it. They're good stuff. By the way, Sean, welcome. Whiskey India 0 Oscar. Love the call. Welcome, Sean. My name's Larry. Welcome to the show. That's really a treat. Nice to see you. Here's the question. Would you choose the FTDX 101MP or FTDX 101D Max? I had both. Okay, it depends on what you want to do. If CW is really big to you, right? The MP is going to give you the filter automatically for the CW filter on VFO-A on the MP. The extra 100 watts on the MP is also nice to have. Dual VC tune is also on the 101 MP. That's a bonus. If you want to really, be able to attenuate signals within the passband carefully on both your main and sub VFO, it's a very good option to have, right? The 101 Delta has half the power, but still you can hook up to an amplifier. It does the same thing, right? I always say the 101D and say, if you're going to buy like an Ameritron 811H or even just the 811, it's going to give you tons of power and you'll have just about the same money invested, but more power then, right? But I like the MP because that extra 100 watts without an amplifier was just nice to have. I only used the VC tune on VFO-B one time. I had the radio like 8 months, but I only used it one time, and I thought I'd use it more than that. I honestly spent more time on VFO-A parsing stuff down, Sean, than I did with VFO-B and trying to work two VFOs. that was just me. But to a person that really likes CW, that CW filter that comes with the MP is kind of handy to have. I never crack against roofing filters, you know. And the problem with the Yaesu 101 series is if you want a filter and you've bought the radio already, for example, you need to take your radio in the box to your retailer and then say, I need you to send this to Yaesu. I need you to I want to add the 1.2 kilohertz, for example, sideband filter, and I want to add the 300 hertz CW filter to VFO-B on both, right? Then the retailer sends it to Yaesu. They then do the work that needs to be done, send it back to you. I don't know. I mean, I'd like it to be easier where you could take it somewhere or you could do it yourself, right? Take the cabinet apart, put the new filters in, close it up, you're done. But the way that Yaesu does it, they have to go through their factory in California to do it here in the States. So, you know, I like the MP. I like the MP a lot. That would be the way I'd go, Sean, based on having both of them. Yeah, it's a lot of money. No question it's went up since supply and demand are different now than what they used to be, and part shortages, stuff like that. But you'll never be upset with more power. Never. I never was. I would buy it used if you can. Try and save the coin if you can by buying it used. I think you'll be happy. And if you don't, at least you're not going to lose a ton of money on it. So thank you for the question. I appreciate it very much. It's a good question. It really is. Jerry Jones says, flex if money is no object. Maestro is awesome. Yeah.
That's my boy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great radio. I can't say anything bad about the Flex radios. They're just nice. And the Maestro made it just perfect. Oh, it's beautiful with that. Aaron in Canada's topic question. I guess a 7851 would be nice. So would an IC 905 with a full VHF, UHF satellite antenna system. But really, I'm okay with what I have. And what's going up this year? Maybe a 1.5 kilowatt amplifier. Big applause. What I love about what Aaron is saying here is he's happy with what he has. There's something to be said about being comfortable in your own shoes, right? Like we have CPAC coming up. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing Ray Novak there from Icom. But I don't need anything. My wife said, well, okay, if you can get something, what would you get? Well, maybe a radio that I could do APRS with. That'd be kind of fun. We're going to do APRS in just a little bit. I think we got everybody's copy question answer. I hope we do. If we don't, hold on. Bass says from Holland, I would buy an HF antenna because all the antennas I bought, Hustler 4 BTB Diamond CV6 high-ended. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Bass. Appreciate you. And they just won't work. That's the way it is. And Rodney, yeah, the DX Commander or NFED, those are very good starting point. I love the DX Commander, especially the classic. Nebula is good too. Same thing, just a little higher for 80 meters. So you can't go wrong with either one of those. And the good thing, Bass, is you're in Europe. So you don't have to worry about like the shipping and the costs. It's just easier to buy through Callum if you're in Europe, really is. And if you're in the States, don't let that scare you. I got mine from Callum. It's been up for 2 years in my backyard. My DX Commander antenna has been phenomenal. Jonathan, welcome. Mike Zero, Juliet Sierra X-Ray, hello to you. And it's good to see you, my friend, as always. Happy Saturday night. Jonathan says, I think I prefer an IC 7610. Big applause. That's what I had too, okay? I love my radio. I really do. I waited a long time for it. I told Karen, if I found a 7600, I'd be interested because that's the radio I really wanted when I got my amateur radio license. Just couldn't afford it. That's the way it goes. And Sean, you're welcome. Thank you for asking the question. It's nice to meet you. Thank you. Bass, I'd buy good HF antenna because all the antennas I bought till now I can't get resonant. Hustler 5 BTV high-ended long-wire diamond CV6. Hang in there. It'll be all right. Jerry Jones, another question. If money's no object, what antenna would you buy? Yeah, true. Good question. Absolutely. I mean, it depends on what you want, right? Like John says, I like the THD75 or any other HT, which has APRS. We're going to talk about APRS today. Sean, whiskey, sorry, I don't want to say one. I don't want to mess it up. Whiskey India 0 Oscar. Gigaparts be carrying Dick's Commanders soon. That is worth big applause for sure. Absolutely. Callum's got good stuff. He really is. Good stuff. Jerry, my first HF radio 7610 started with one of the best. It's a great radio. Absolutely. Jonathan, DX Engineering and now the distributor for DX. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. William Myers, I bought the DX Commander Signature 12.4. Looking forward to getting it put together and up in a few weeks. Good luck with you and get that hex beam fixed, man. It's worth it. It really is. Yeah. The 5BTV is a great antenna, Aaron Lutz, Canada. Indeed. All right. I think the angry hams are here. I don't see them, but let's see what they have to say about today's show.
Well, I still couldn't find the chewing gum.
Excellent. Okay, so the world's up by 5 here. First question. For political reasons, and this is a weird answer, so don't go to the obvious one, just a hint. Okay. For political reasons, it was prohibited for radio amateurs from the former Soviet Union to make radio contact with hams from some countries. What 2 countries were on this blacklist? Was it A, England and the United States, B, South Africa and Israel, C, Albania and Korea, or D, Spain and Portugal? A, B, C, or D. First one who gets the answer right gets cha-ching, and we'll give you regular applause. Good luck. The countries on the blacklist. First up, Andy New, Mike 7, Charlie November. He has B, South Africa and Israel. You know what? He is 100% correct. Well done, Andy. Yep, that's it. Yep. Yeah, they didn't recognize either country. That's why. So it was their way of saying we don't respect you. That's why everybody's got their own, reason for doing stuff. William Myers, he had C. Let's see, Aaron had C. Kjell in Norway. Good to have you. Welcome back, Kjell. Always a pleasure to have Kjell here. Love him. Love Kjell. Andy Kelly had D. Jerry had both B and C, which is amazing. That's very well. Jonathan spoke to Callum today and know that the shipment to DX Engineering will be leaving in a few weeks. There you go. That's absolutely cutting edge information right there. Yeah, good for him, man. That's his livelihood. It's nice he has a retailer here in the States for it. Makes it easier to ship, right? He sells it for a little less. DX Engineering is able to make a profit. Everyone wins. That's it. I see Dave got C as well. Rob got C. Barry got it right. Look at this, RTF Droney. First timer. Welcome. Nice to have you. My name's Larry. Welcome to HamRadio Live. Man, what a treat for me. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming to the show. Nice to have you. Question number 2. You notice now this is in the old days, right? The old days of analog TV. All right. You notice while surfing the TV channels that there is a strong signal from a station on channel 8 nearly 300 miles away. Which amateur band should you try for an unusually distant QSO? Would it be A, 160 meters, B, 40 meters, C, 10 meters, or D, 2 meters? First one right on that. We'll give you a ching, and you get big applause as well. Good luck. Good luck. Channel 8, the old Channel 8 analog. This is kind of an interesting question, right? Because this is no longer how it is. In television, here in the States at least, it's all UHF. Everything went UHF. So what used to be, say, for example, Channel 6, which used to be over on about their audio signal, about 87 or 88 megahertz, totally different now. So, yeah, very different world. But that's the way it is. So Channel 8 back in the day would have been near what frequency band? Let's find out, shall we? First one in, Andy New, Mike 7, Charlie November. He has D, 2 meters. And you know what? He just went back. Yes, he did. Look at that. He did. It was 2 meters, yeah. That's the closest band to where Channel 8 was. See, 6 was on like 88.9 or 87.9 megahertz for their audio signal. And then it goes up. 7 was higher, and then 8 would have been close to that, about 140 megahertz or so. But that's it. It was 2 meters back in the day. Look at this. Everybody getting this one right just around the world. This is amazing. Very well done, guys. Yeah, and that's cool because they're no longer on that anymore. Not as much. And Jonathan, yeah, it is a huge achievement for Callum. And you know what? It takes a lot of people that are giving a lot of love to him that has helped him along the way. And I'm really happy for him too. That's really good news. Yeah. What he's talking about is that here in the States, DX Engineering is going to be handling, you're going to be able to buy your DX Commander antennas from them. I'm really happy for Callum. He's built up a business from the ground up, and he's done really well too, which is really cool. It's a nice story, and it's neat to see him get it through. All right, folks, we are going to play, by the way, a neat sign-off here. I got a neat sign-off. The sign-off I have was the end of WNBC in New York City. Huge station. That was ginormous. We talk about the AM radio and saving AM. Well, back in the day, it's News Radio 66, but it used to be hit radio, WNBC. They had the best talent in New York. And they had one guy who was world famous and from Brooklyn, always wanted to be in New York radio, but never got his chance until 1972. I'll play a snippet of that coming up. My name is Larry. My call sign, Amateur Radio's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Oh, wait a minute. We still got funnies. Yeah, I just looked at that. Like, oh, no, we got funnies up here. All right, this is from our Friday Funny Show. And I know it's Sunday, but please have a little patience. Let's take a look at your funnies you sent around the world. By the way, we have a Disney bonus today. A Disney meme bonus just to have a little fun on a Sunday. Hope you like it.
Thank God it's
From India and Australia, Nikolai in Romania.
Thank God it's
These are all Hall of Fames. These are great. Rob Q in LA, it's Christmas time. That was good. Oh my gosh. This is so funny. It's like you drew a cat, right? There you go. The ultimate car, the Ford Escort amateur radio version, and there is the inside of it. Great. No. Right. Andy New sent this last week. It's a good one. It's really funny. If you want to read it, just pause the stream. Everything here is really funny, right? Here's the English lesson he left us with last week. Remember, the wife is the husband silent. You'll be all right. Okay. Coming up on this week, Aaron from Canison assists K2EZ's ground references. These are kind of fun. Take a look at them when you have a chance. They're pretty good. Here's another one from Romania. He said, what happens if somebody slaps you at high frequency? It hurts. Gosh. Okay, there you go. Yep, the Radio Leaf 324. Thank you for always being on Discord, making it fun. All right. Nikolai sent us the Ferrero Rocher collection. These are all coax connectors. Well done. Thank you, Nikolai. Again. William in Wisconsin. Look at this. This is great. This sign is so flippin' awesome. Look at this. This is funny. What you're about to witness is an amateur radio station licensed by the Federal Communications Commission in Washington, D.C. Before you ask the questions, here are the answers. The total cost of this equipment cannot be discussed here as it creates marital conflicts. Amazing. Hey, look, number 2. No, we cannot send a message to your brother in Hong Kong. We suggest you call Western Union. Yes, the antenna in the backyard is essential to the operation of this equipment. I had that happen on Thursday. I put the hex beam back up, right? And my neighbor in the backyard told me the next day she comes because, you put up that ham radio antenna yesterday, right? Yeah, I remember. Well, really want to let you know, I'm really sorry. It scared the dogs. I said, okay, sorry. Sorry it scared your dogs. Yeah, but it scared my dogs.
Well, hog gravy and chitlins.
What am I going to do? Take the dang thing down? Absolutely not. Oh my gosh. Let's take a few more of these. This is pretty good. Steve in the UK. So I bought a new transceiver and she asked, are you going to sell any of your old ones? Never. Look at this. I'll get something to eat just as soon as I've got this FT8 working. Great. Oh my gosh. CQ my rear end. Do you see what time it is? That's for the late night DXer there. All right, let's get it a little bit. What do you say? Let's get some Disney stuff here. There we go.
I got a surprise.
Buzz Lightyear and Woody, hair ties everywhere. When you're in Tomorrowland and you find out the wait for Splash, and that means Splash Mountain, is only 10 minutes.
Yeah, for some reason or another, You sound a little taller on radio.
It's the end of the park to the other end of the park.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's a long ways, especially if it's crowded. Next, I need Starbucks, but you will never catch me in that line. And 3 hours later, he's got his Starbucks. That'd be about right. Come to Disney World, they said. It will be fun, they said. No, it doesn't look very fun. Introducing the new dwarf. The dwarf, by the way, the sign says Stocky Dwarf. Stocky Dwarf. Oh, jeez. Goes to Disney for a week, packs all the ears. Yeah, right. Happiest place on earth just got grumpier. It was kind of grumpy. There were some cast members weren't very pleasant to us. When you hear people talking about planning a Disney World vacation, sure, that was bad. Next, a good time at Disney World you want, planning ahead you must. Yeah. If you yell Andy's coming in front of the Toy Story characters at Disney, they will stop what they're doing and drop immediately. When I can see the castle from the monorail window. Jeez. Getting in line with a 20-minute wait when the wait time goes up to 25 minutes. That's awful. It really is. You know, and we found that there too. My best friend, me trying to hold us together, quoting the pre-show to the ride we're about to get on. Yeah, it's funny. Let's just do more. I love this one coming up, so I hope you enjoy it. This is pretty fun. Let me get this one. Okay, look at this. Disneyland in Ohio. Because the Rust Belt. Get it? Okay, anyway, okay. Next, last, am I tall enough? That was funny the first 100 times I heard it today. A people trap set by a mouse. Yeah, there's your Disney funnies as well. Oh my gosh. It's Disneyland. That's what you can do, right? If I had a chance to do it over again, because Karen and I tried really hard to make Bob's Trip special to Disneyland, I would never have went in mid-May. And the people don't tell you that. You go on YouTube, because like you find out information about the park and what it's like in certain times of month. I wish someone had told us about mid-May forward is grad night every single night of the week. No kidding. And they come in dozens of buses, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids. And I get it, it's grad night, so it's supposed to be fun for them. But man, that was our vacation time. We took 2 years to save over that money to do the park, right? And it was so bad. Like if you've ever been to Disneyland, there's a place in Frontierland called the Golden Horseshoe. It's a place where you kind of sit down, have a drink of, drink of water, drink of soda, whatever, have a lunch, right? Well, speaking of drink, we got to the point where we were in Toontown, and it took us 25 minutes to walk through the crowd to get over to Frontierland. That's like a 5-minute walk. Should be 25 minutes, no joke, because it was so packed at Disney. It's just, crazy. Today's topic question: money were no object, what radio equipment would you have? Well, find out. Thank you for answering all the comments on this. Like I said, I think I'm cool with what I've got. I have no problem with that. SDR radio user Ole, first timer, welcome. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. Jerry worked at Walt Disney World for 21 years. Wife just passed 30 years. Big applause there. Wow. I've met people that work at Disney. I have. They say the same thing. They love what they do. It's not easy, but they love what they do. And they know the number one rule is always give the guests a very good park experience. Big deal to them. We just ran into some people having bad days, I think. It was packed. SDR radio user Ole got a new ham tower plus antennas. Well done, sir. That's true. Jerry, come to Disney World. We'll take care of you. And we live 3 miles from the castle. Wow, it's fantastic. Oh, I like that area. I do. I like it. Like Winter Gardens. even Kissimmee, Florida. Kissimmee, Florida is nice too. There's some beautiful communities right around Disney World. Just beautiful places. All right. If you want to get an amateur radio, gosh, it's good to see you guys. I'm just glad to do the show. Contact the Wireless Institute of Australia. They'll help you get a local to you amateur radio club. It's true. They're good at it. And that local amateur club is important to you too. Because if you want to get your license, it's great to ask people questions who know the answers to the questions, and they'll help you get on the air. They really will. They'll help you get licensed. To find a local club, contact a national organization like the Wireless Institute of Australia, www.wia.org.au. Good people there in Australia, and they're going to help you out to get you your amateur radio license. All right. I told you we're going to do kind of an interesting sign-off. It's not really the sign-off part. It's on the TV news, but there's another guy who they missed when they talked about the famous personalities that worked at WNBC New York City. My name's Larry. My call sign, Amateur Radio, is Kilo 7 Hotel November. God bless you, wherever you may be. Thanks for coming back to the channel. We'll be back as soon as possible with the next show. Goodbye, everybody.
Today marked the end of an era on New York Airways, and Pat Collins was.
Remember what I told you earlier in the show?
DJs signed off.
Wait for it.
I'll tell you, John and Roland, I'll tell you what it was like there today. It was really like the day the Dodgers left Brooklyn and the last Ferris wheel ride. I had one at Palisades Park. After 62 years at 6:60 on the AM dial, WNBC Radio went off the air. It will be replaced by the all-sports station WFAN. At the Rockefeller Building today, celebrities called in to say their goodbyes.
Say hello to Buffalo Bob Smith. Hey, Buffalo Bob.
Buffalo Bob, Cousin Brucey, Ted Brown, Don Imus, and the infamous Howard Stern. They were among the many voices of WNBC. On this night, it was Alan Combs at the microphone as WNBC entered the history books.
It's a historic moment that belongs not just to me, but also to every broadcaster who ever graced the microphone.
I cannot fathom that I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and not turn on 66 and go down the dial and listen to WNBC.
I never thought when I got a job at NBC that it wouldn't last forever.
It's unbelievable that WNBC will no longer exist. It's like we've reached a plateau that you wonder who were the minds that put that all together.
WNBC was sold as part of a $121 million package by GE, NBC's parent company. In this room, no one cared about deals and profit margins. They were there because they loved radio.
It's also very sad that this radio empire is being dismantled. You know, this is Radio City. And there will be no more radio in Radio City.
It was a time for tears, a time for saying goodbye to friends and memories. There was the last traffic report, the last commercial, the last newscast, and the last time the NBC chimes would be heard on a radio station in New York City.
See whether I can really do this.
And finally, at 5:30 Eastern Daylight Time, it was time to say goodbye for good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They forgot.
For the very last time, that's what's happening. I'm Doug O'Brien, WNBC, New York.
Forgot one guy. Here's the guy they forgot to put in there. His first show, August of '73. Wolfman Jack was on WNBC as well.
for you. Come on in there, get your soul together. All the way with WGN. Get that. Oh, get down, Gilbert O'Sullivan, baby. Oh, baby, finally got to the Big Apple. Really nice to be home. I want to say that right now. Round around your radios now, we're going to get down and know each other a little bit better. Going to play some of those nice things for you here, you understand? Going rock and roll till midnight. Getting in here with the Rolling Stones. Pick your pick. Playing lead mouth, you understand that?
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. Rest assured, you'll get your money's worth. Radio show, it happened out at the Aussie show.
Oh, you know, an hour and 20 is just not enough yet, right? We've done this before. It's been a long time, though. Little Emerson, Lake, and Powell. Good stuff. Welcome to the show. Starting out bonus content on HamRadio Live. My name's Larry from around the world. Get ready, get set. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to talk about one more thing in the show, and I want to put this separately because I've never done a segment on it. I am so grateful to be able to do this with you today. There's a part of amateur radio that I think is so essential that people at least have one of these radios that can do it. We're talking about APRS. For folks that might be new in amateur radio, APRS means Automatic Packet Reporting Service. That's a long word for basically saying it can tell you the location of something. It can tell you the temperature. It can tell you all kinds of things. And APRS is such a useful tool that it even goes up on balloons. We're going to talk about sending a balloon up in space, what you need to do it, how much it might cost you. And we'll show you actually a balloon doing that. So I hope you enjoy the show. First part, APRS, if you don't even have an APRS, for example, let's say you don't have an APRS radio, right? You can still monitor other people's APRS. I don't know if you know that. If you go on to APRS.Fi, okay, so APRS.Foxtrot India, it'll get you to a location where you'll be able to see a plethora of people who have APRS transmitters going. And you can kind of get a look at what they're doing. And it can do everything from like a webcam to temperature or weather. It's fantastic. APRS is so varied. Here's a little look at a little bit broader view from where I live, right? And you can see all the different APRS locations here. These are all amateurs running some sort of APRS. You can see WX for weather. You can see D and W's, and you can click on whatever you want to. It's fantastic. Look as I spread out a little farther. This is the Willamette Valley of Oregon going up north to just the southern part of the Puget Sound area of Washington State. Look at all these. They're just everywhere. And you can scan these all over the world, or you can go to your local area and find things that will just blow your mind. For example, here's one. Take a look. Foxtrot Whiskey 6328. Click on it, and there's the weather. You can find out anywhere. So if you're planning a trip, for example, go to the area where it's at. If you don't have a smartphone, click on it, you'll know the weather. Get a good idea of what the real weather is right now. APRS also does a lot of other things through this site. You can click on the D, for example, right? And that shows you where they're digitally transmitting on, their frequencies. So if you want to make a call to Kilo 7, Delta Sierra November, there you go. Way to do it. W is another way. That's WinLink. So if you hit the W, you'll know where they're at on WinLink. It's a fantastic tool at APRS.Fi. P, take a look. This is about DAPnet Gateway, and you can get the ideas what you can do and see from here. It's a fantastic thing. This is from Pup Echo 2 Kilo Mike Victor, but it's in the Portland, Oregon area, right? Look at this as we kind of go over towards the northwest part of Portland. This is northwest Portland, right? See that one thing right in the center, Whiskey 5 Zulu Fox Quebec -14. See that? If you click on it, it's a camera. You can look out from where people are at. Again, APRS.Fi. Just find your icon. If you find cameras, you can see exactly what it looks like, where the person's at. It's a phenomenal tool. It really is. Another thing you do with APRS, which is so cool, is APRS is excellent at tracking things. If you, for example, you can use the same thing, and you can track balloon flights. If someone's doing a balloon flight and you know about it, you can track it with them. It's fantastic. If you want, or have ever thought about launching your own high altitude balloon, right? There's a place called High Altitude Science. It's just one of many places that offer ways you can get a balloon up to the edge of space. No kidding. So here is their thing. It's $669, but if you want the better transmitter, it'll cost you about $769. That's the difference, right? It talks about all the things it can do. And look what it says for the Eagle flight computer, right? It says, our robust flight computer records data such as temperature, pressure, altitude, wind speed, GPS coordinates, etc. to a micro SD card for post-mission analysis. Now, if you've got an APRS radio in it, though, you can get on-the-spot analysis, which is fantastic, really is. And we're going to talk about this. This just gives you a little idea about all the different things that the space balloon does, right? What's required talks about you need the helium, of course. You need the Energizer batteries, the micro SD card, any camera of your choice, and there it is, satellite tracker. That's APRS. That's what it is. So if we were to look at actually how small this is, let's look at this. Here's one of these very small APRS transmitters. This is done by Traxor, right? Needs a battery, also needs an antenna. Those leads will go to power, and the other, so the red and black go to power, of course. The other two leads go to the antenna. When you've got things put together, you just put it into a drive thing like this, but see how he's got the antennas coming out of it? This is a little Orion it's a waterproof container for that transmitter. Makes it simple. So if the darn balloon, when it goes back down to Earth, because everything that goes up must come down, it's going to be dry. You're not going to lose the flight computer. That's the APRS transmitter right there. As you go up and you start seeing what the balloon did, here's a good example of what one looks like. This is from Texas. So this is one that would be, right about the center part of Texas. Look carefully at the map. You'll see Georgetown, which is just outside of Austin. And then as you look a little bit more towards the right of the screen, you'll see San Marcos and New Braunfels, and then San Antonio's in the distance. So this is what it looks like. If you've got the interest in flying a balloon, and perfectly legal, you can do it. and certainly in our country, don't shoot them down. Sorry, bad timing. My mistake. Okay, didn't mean for that to happen here.
Dear Mr. President.
Yeah, right. So let's take a look at one of these setups with everything done and the APRS transmitter. And by the way, if you are so interested that you want to maybe keep track of something like this, just go here to APRS.Fi. APRS.Fi will help you track something like this. Now, there are two cameras on board this. One of them has audio. The other one doesn't. You can see one of the antennas right there. This is being lifted off from Canada, and they're near Lake Erie, and they're near Lake Superior. So as this goes up, you're going to kind of see which area it's pointing at. See, there's the launch site. Now, if you ever wanted to do something like this, you got to get the balloon, you got to get all the stuff for it. But the APRS transmitter is really important because it'll help you find this thing too. I'm going to move this forward and let you won't hear the commercial like I get through. So you get through the ads, right? This is the last part of the video where they're way up, over 100,000 feet up. And to give you a perspective, right? Commercial airliners, they can fly about 40 to 45,000 feet. We're talking this balloon's over 100,000 feet up. That's into the E layer, basically, almost of the ionosphere. Take a look. Look at that, 116,841 feet. That's amazing. This is way above where wind is going to be heard or anything. It's just a beautiful place. Now I'm going to zoom this up. There you see Lake Erie. This is how high it is. You're actually able to see two of the Great Lakes here. You can see Lake Erie and see Lake Superior. But notice how big, Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, I think it is. Anyway, this is where it's going. It's going towards Lake Erie, okay? Because that's just the way the balloon was carried, on the way up. Now, if we move this forward, let me kind of get you a part where you're going to be able to not have to go through all this part. You see everything. See, there's Lake Huron. So it's high enough to see two of the Great Lakes. Starts to spin around. The balloon eventually does the pop. And then they have to pick it up, right? And that's where APRS really helps, right? Because APRS will show where the last coordinates were for the balloon, the payload. So here it goes. It dies, and here's where they're at. Look at this. Payload falls for about 77,000 feet until parachute opens, right? Now, that's on purpose because you don't want the parachute to blow up as it hits the atmosphere, right? Parachute opens around 40,000 feet and payload descends at a rate of about 5 meters per second. It re-enters the jet stream and travels horizontally at 130 kilometers per hour, then slows to about 30 kilometers per hour at 2,000 feet. Then it lands in Lake Erie. No kidding. Let's see how good they get it. Now you get an idea of why this is so important. That's the track. There's the APRS track of the balloon. And there they go to get it in Lake Erie. There is the payload. Isn't that cool? That's cool. It really is. We do a lot in amateur radio. And I know that APRS isn't for everybody. But, there's a lot of good to be said about it, too. For people who are very mobile or do a lot of stuff, maybe going to areas like, for example, Charlie in Arizona, right? Charlie goes on summits on the air. If something bad were to happen, heaven forbid to Charlie, if he's got APRS with him, you'll know his exact location where he's at. There are so many good things that APRS does do, and there's a lot of reasons why people do use it. Kind of like for some people, they don't like digital modes no matter what. They just don't like digital. But they like voice, or they like Morse code, but voice is too cumbersome. There's certain things we just do in amateur radio that we like to do, right? I like the value of APRS. It's another version of amateur radio that we don't necessarily talk a whole lot about. If you're ever interested in tracking balloons or possibly seeing what's going around the world, just go to APRS.Fi, right there on your web browser, APRS.Fi. That is the web source where you can basically find APRS transmitters worldwide. And there are thousands of these things all over the world where you can kind of get an idea of where people are at around the world and see what's going on in their neck of the woods. APRS has got a really good future in amateur radio for that very reason. That was fun. Jerry Jones shot down by an F-18 at 111,000 feet.
Dear Mr. President, there are too many states nowadays.
I know.
Please eliminate 3.
Great.
I am not a crackpot.
That's my boy!
So much truth to that. Yeah. Roger McKeon, I like the idea of APRS, but where I like to play, way out in the middle of nowhere, I doubt it'd be functional. Yep, it'd be functional. It would work. It really would. It works very well, actually. And Ron, you could barely see the curvature of the Earth there. Don't you think it'd be kind of fun I wouldn't mind. I think it'd be kind of cool activity. It's a lot of money to get into it, actually, if you're going to, buy the darn balloon stuff. But wouldn't it be kind of fun to go to a park, and have a big balloon and then just see where it goes, see how high it goes? I think that's kind of fascinating, personally. So APRS, good way to get people, working out. Jerry Jones, neat comment. I prefer rag shoes, but I can FT8 sitting with the wife watching TV. Now there is some quality time, my friend. Yeah, right. Oh no. Oh, my wife would kill me on that. And there, Aaron, yeah, I'm a rag chewing DXer. I am too. I really do. But I do like digital. Digital to me is fun. It's where I go DX chasing. That's just the truth. I mean, I go DX chasing digitally. I like to talk and learn about people on voice. That's the neat part of amateur radio. We have a lot we can do in the hobby. Folks, we've been talking hour, 36 minutes. I still got something left for you, and I hope you do enjoy it. This show took about 3 days. Yeah, 3 days to get in. And I'm really excited to share this with you because this is what, we talked about at the very beginning of the show, right? We talked about the guy that's in Oregon State, LeGrand to be specific, who has a problem. $80,000 problem.
How much money did you say it was? $80,000.
Yeah. Meaning the FCC is not very happy with this dude because he has a pirate radio station on from East Oregon. Now, what he did was he turned it on too many times. They gave him the transmitters, and they fires up another one, gave him the transmitters, fires up another one. It happened too many times. And unfortunately, the dude got in some serious trouble, and the FCC really went after him, $80,000 worth. So, because this guy has worked really hard to, put a radio station on there, so dug him many times, and since $80,000 is supposed to come out of his pocket, yep, I think we should probably play something that, maybe honors him just a little bit. His memory, poor guy, 80 grand. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. I'll play a sign off from a pirate radio station, meaning one that's not legally on the air. I hope you like it. Also, it's a pretty sweet looking Yaesu radio that does it too. So it's kind of neat to do that. All right, this is the real end of the show because I got to get up and walk, and I got a dog down at my feet right now, and I hope they're not biting something. One thing. Before I go, guys, share it. It's been a while. It's been like 2.5 weeks since we did it. Why not do it again?
And now, a Larry moment.
So the dogs, the little puppies, right? The one thing we're having a problem with is biting because they're teething, right? But we don't like the fact they like to bite the power supply cord to the radio. Remember Christmas Vacation when the cat bit through the Christmas light cord, and all of a sudden and just goes just to pieces, right? I have this terrible, terrible thought of Jack being down there. He bites into the thing, all of a sudden, there's hair flying everywhere, and Jack's like, he's part of him over here, there's a little up there, some splattered on the wall. I gotta keep him out of here because he really gets into trouble. So all of a sudden he's just like into trouble. So yeah, I gotta keep an eye on him when they're down at my feet. Just want to make sure you do.
Hey boy, come here, quick!
It's sorry, it's just funny because it's really true. When I try and do the show, that's what happens. Sorry. My name's Larry. My call sign amateur radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November. I got a great sign out for you. It is a pirate radio station, and they are going off the air, only to return again, but that was another story. You guys like it. Wherever you may be, doggone it, it's been fun to be here again with you. I mean that. My hope is, God willing, I could do 1,000 shows, and that's it. Then we're done, right? I don't know if we're going to make it that long at this rate, but I know every time I hit the go live button and I get a chance to spend with you, my life's better for it. Thanks for being a part of my life, guys. Wherever you may be, God bless you. May have a great weekend ahead and a wonderful week coming up. Goodbye, everybody.
End of our show today. That was Dance the Way I Feel without endless swimming pools. You also heard a little bit of the Ready set with Give Me Your Hand, best song ever. And right before that, we played some Arcade Fire, of course, with Reflector. Oh, your mic sounds too low. Let me turn that down for you. Ah, there you hear me? Now I can hear you. All right, well, it has been another wonderful episode of Radio Free Whatever. Another good one. Awesome show. It was brought to you by the ionosphere. Heating up during the day and getting cooler in the afternoon. If it wasn't for the ionosphere, you wouldn't be able to hear us. And by the HF Underground, the Free Radio Cafe, and the Free Radio Network. Thank you. This has been another Radio Free Whatever Shortwave Radio production. And until next time, do whatever.
By the way, Tom in Bahrain, my gosh, it's so late. Tom, or early, depending on where you're at. Thank you for coming. I know it's late. Tom, thank you very, very much. And thanks to every one of you for coming too. It was such a trip and a nice day to spend with all of you. Goodbye, everybody.
Please send your complaints about the show to us here at the Smokin' Apes YouTube channel. Remember, this is the Smokin' Ape Show.
That's all, folks.